Right, guys, now the update on the speaker, the field coil that we're working on at the moment. Cleaned him all up. Now, the bottom cardboard was quite good. The top one just fell apart off here. Now, we need another piece of cardboard. I've cut this piece out of a manila folder. That's all it needs. And we'll be gluing him back on here, like so. Okay, so it keeps our wire and everything intact. Now, I don't know what to run around here at the moment. Probably just some light glue of some description. So that goes on there, and yeah, that'll be fine. It's about the same thickness as the original cardboard that was on here. Now this fella, yeah, there's our speaker transformer. I've certainly gone to town on him to clean him up and, yeah, just to put him together. There's our laminations off the bottom. They were not real good. They're a little bit rusty. Here's the case of the transformer. I want to get to work on this, clean it a little bit more, but I don't want to remove that. Our 7,000 ohm label on there, nor do I want to remove all of the label that's on that. Now, as you can see, there's some dates on there, 1930, 32, 33. So, yeah, I'd like this left on, but I'm going to try and clean around it a little bit of rust on there. I would like also to keep the date on that one, which was the 22nd of March, and that is 1932. So I really wanted to keep that. So it's a matter of trying to clean the sides, along the sides here, and yeah, I'll show you when I get it done, and then we can get on to our plug, fix him up, and I think the wiring is it's quite good. It's good enough anyway to keep it. All right, now the speaker field coil, well, the back of the speaker, I have cleaned up in here. This was quite corroded. Our main, well, I don't know what you'd call that. The actual post that the voice coil goes over. Cleaned him up with some 800 wet and dry. He's come up perfect. There's a gasket in there which doesn't come out. I can't get that out. So I'm leaving that in there, masking this off and repainting the back. There's a little bit of rust around here. There's the original colour, that gold, as we're doing the rest. So we'll clean this up the best we can, repaint the outside of this gold. And yeah, as I said, certainly mask up any areas on the inside of it. This won't be repainted. So yeah. All right. So that's where we're up to at the moment. Okay, let's do the, yeah, whatever comes next. Okay. Right, we've got everything cleaned up with the speaker. The transformer's cleaned up. These are the shields that actually go on the side of the transformer. I'm going to repaint these. I've de-rusted them, cleaned them up. So going to repaint those now. Screws are all cleaned up. Our plate that goes in the center is, yeah, come up quite nice. And so far, I've just run a wire wheel over this one, over the well, I don't know what you'd call it, the actual back of the speaker itself. And of course, the field coil goes there. So this has got to be painted. These have got to be painted. And once they're dry, we'll put them back in the transformer itself. I'll just show you when I'm doing that. The field coil, of course, is ready to rock and roll. It tests fine. So, yeah. Next thing, I suppose, we'll clean up some pins and get this ready to put together. Okay, and while the other bits and pieces have been painted and we're waiting for it to dry, the basket, a little fairly rusty. I think we'll probably use some rust remover, Ranex, or something like that. I will go around the outside, probably with the wire wheel, and take off, also in here, take off a bit of the rust. So, yeah, we'll clean this up, get ready to put back together, and of course it's got to be repainted, the same gold as everything else. And yeah, then it's a matter of this thing. Yeah, this is going to test me out, this one. But anyway, we'll come up with an idea of what we can do here. There's lots and lots of different ways of doing this. There's lots of people on the internet that, they got their different ways. Yes, I can replace the cone. I don't have a cone the same size, and I know we can fit another cone inside the suspension on this. The trouble is our suspension on this one is not real good. So, got to come up with some sort of idea. And this thing is split right to the center, right to the voice coil. So, yeah, I'm just not real sure what we're going to do. Anyway, I'll keep you in the loop. Meanwhile, let's get this cleaned up so he looks nice and pretty, and then we can work on the other one. Alright guys, time to put my speaker transformer together, and as you've seen earlier, got the laminations back into the top here, all cleaned up. Now what we've got to do with this is I've painted these, so I haven't done the inside of them, but I have painted the outside. So what we've got to do here is put these fellas in, sits in like so, and hopefully all this fits. And yes, that side does, and that side does. Okay, so we push him together. They should go on the outside of the laminations down on the bottom. Let's see if we can just push these down a little bit. And that fella's in. There we go. Now, this one. And there he goes. A little bit tight, but that's fine. Yeah. There we go. He's in. Our nice little, almost new transformer. Right, we'll put the bracket on the bottom, and then this is almost ready to put back on the speaker when I get it all painted. Right, we've even polished our screws up. How about that? Yeah, get our nut on there. This doesn't have a star washer, these. Right, tighten him up. There we go. There he is, guys. The bracket ready to mount back on the speaker. Our transformer looking pretty good. All I got to do now is that horrible cone on the speaker. Righto, guys, time's up. Here it is. I don't know where to start with this, honestly. That's it. Now, what I'm thinking, and like everyone has different ways of doing these things, this is just my line of thinking here. The surround, the gasket is very good. It's in good condition. There's good. The cone itself is glued to the gasket quite well all the way around. Gasket looks like it's been glued before. The glue's very hard, but to get that off, I'd have to destroy the suspension around the speaker. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to leave that because it will sit in nicely once, like it's fairly flat. It's just glue that's been on there. Now, there's bits and pieces where I've been cleaning it up there. Now, my theory, I don't know whether this is going to work or not. I've got to maintain the suspension, and all the bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is get some masking tape, cut it into small strips, and more or less piece the cone all together so that at least there's no floppy bits like this, like up here. Now the cone itself, the paper is not too bad. I don't know how it's ended up in this condition, really. I'd say it's been sat on something or someone's pushed something into it, because the paper is not actually breaking up. So I'm going to cut some little pieces of masking tape, as I said, sort of little strips, put this all together. Now, the suspension, I don't know yet. We'll see how it all works when I get the actual cone in more or less one piece. Now, I think I'm going to start up near the top on this fella. Let's say up here. So we'll get ourselves a strip to start with. And this is just to hold it all together. This isn't the ultimate patch or anything. I'm going to put a piece on there. To hold that. We may not need anything else on this. We could spray this with lacquer after we're finished. What a job this is going to be. I've got the coil weighted down on the bench, which is level. I've leveled the basket, well, the best I can. I've just got a little weight behind here so that everything is sitting reasonably square. Now, what I'm going to do, which I wasn't going to do, but I am going to go around here with some contact adhesive and just try and get the suspension a little bit better than what it is. It's fairly delicate, but I think that will work. And of course, it's a oncer. If it doesn't work, well, then we look at reconing. But that's what I'm going to do now. Righto, guys. Well, we've cleaned up a few things. We've got the speaker frame looking damn nice. I wish the cone looked as good. And there our rear assembly for the field coil, which we've got to mount in. We've got to put the field coil in. We've got to put the humbucker coil in, all back in one piece. And the most important thing is this. Now, I've still got some masking tape, as you can see, saw previously, holding this together. Now, what we're going to do is do a mix of water and PVA, soak these, and then we reinforce the cone itself. Now, we'll stay above the suspension ring around the side, so that these will only be on the paper of the cone itself, so on the inside of this. So I don't know how this is going to work. It's something I thought up in my head. Hopefully it works as well as what that's come up. I didn't paint around the outside either. Don't think I've missed it. I just want the glue onto there, and I didn't want the glue onto the paintwork. Okay, so that's where we're up to. Going to take some of these off, cut these. I've got a few of these. I've got 5 of them, which is enough. We'll get it exactly right here shortly. Get them to fit exactly, and well, yeah, we'll bathe them in PVA watery gooey glue and see if it's going to work. I hope this does. I hope this will help a few people out there that have had a destroyed cone like these. So it'll also fill in the gaps on the front of this, which I'm not going to run liquid electrical tape or any sort of rubbery stuff all over the front of it. Yes, it will be painted, but that's all. The rubber around the outside won't be painted because I don't need that any harder than what it is. It's quite flexible at the moment. So, yeah. All right, get into it. Well, guys, we're back to this. The CD covers, the CD sleeves, epic fail. The actual material was just too hard. It wouldn't sit down. It wouldn't dissolve properly onto the cone. Yeah, it just didn't work. So we have, as you probably saw, painted the cone with some PVA water mix. That's made it quite hard. It's actually yeah, that doesn't look real good. But in actual fact, the cone has come up reasonably well. Now, in these areas where there's cracks, I'm going to go over these little bits of masking tape. Now, only because there's gaps in them. I'm going to put some liquid rubber across, which is, what's it called again? It's not called, where are we? Just a moment. Here you go. Leak seal. Okay, so that seems to work extremely well on the back of this. As I said, this is an experiment. I will probably end up having to put another cone in this thing, but I just wanted to experiment and see what works best with restoring speaker cones. So that's what we're doing. You will probably have much better ideas than me, of course. There's people that specialise in this, so I'm certainly no specialist on reconing speakers. But anyway, it's a bit of fun. It's an experiment to see if it works. So we're going to see if we can just, it must be something on the bottom of the can there. We're going to see whether, this actually works. Now, what I'm putting it on with, very marginally, is one of these, a stick. Okay, so it's quite pliable, and these little sticks seem to work quite well, and I'm just going over the top of the masking tape. Okay, so just around it, just so it holds it in position, and across any of the cracks that are appearing, like a little one there. So yes, you can tell me that this is not going to work. You can tell me it's not going to have any bass response because we've buggered up the suspension. I know all these tricks, so I know what you fellas are probably thinking. That doesn't matter. We're having a bit of fun. We're having a go at making the original work. This is the important thing for me. This is the original speaker, and I would like to hear the original speaker working in this radio. Okay, it may not sound hi-fi. Well, it certainly won't sound more hi-fi. It may not sound as good as what it should. Doesn't matter. It'll be the original speaker, and I think we can get it sounding reasonable. The front will he'll come up okay once he's painted. We have to make sure our little spider is movable enough to get it in the right position. That's the main thing. Hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't work, well, we go for the next trick, which will be a cone out of another speaker. I do have another 200mm speaker, and of course the voice coil is a different size, so this has got to be cut out, and yeah, I didn't want to do all that. It's either that or make brackets for the other speaker, put a permanent magnet speaker in this old girl, if this totally fails, and, well, a choke in line with the HT, and that will do away with the field coil. We can also use a resistor to do that, but you're better off using a choke to filter. Righto, we'll let it dry, see how it all pans out in the end. Yes, well, we're back onto this thing. Now I've got it put together as much as I can. So field coil is in there, humbucker coil there, and as you've seen in the previous videos, we've wired the humbucker goes to the in the far one here, this one here, and our voice coil goes from that one there to the outside here, along with our secondary of the transformer, which is those two. So it sort of goes through the humbucker coil to the voice coil. Now, I've left this part for you guys to have a look at and laugh at. I don't know whether this is going to work or not. But anyway, what we've got to do here is center our pin with our plate behind it, so it gives us enough room for the voice coil. Now that can be done by just moving the basket around, by moving the plate around as well. So what I need now is some little shims. I'm going to try with maybe a business card or something like that, and try and get our spacing correct right around. Now, whether this is going to work, yeah, I really don't know. Okay, anyway, we'll try this. We'll get some shims and come back. Now, what I've got here, it's off a business card, but not quite thick enough, so I'm folding them and pushing them in right around. I'll put a few in, as many as I can, to make sure this thing's centre. Well, at least here it can't move. I've come to the conclusion that I really don't like speakers. This is something that the boys higher than me need to do, not me. There we go. Just tighten them up firm to start with. Okay. Still looks okay. They're still even. Okay, let's tighten him up a bit more. Well, I must say it's looking the part, but it's this bit in here. It's we don't worry about the looks. It's got to work somehow. Okay, take all our shims out and inspect. And, well, that looks pretty good. That actually looks pretty good. So anyway, we'll fasten our cable here. And then we'll get our cone ready and see what we can do with him. It should hold him. That's about how he was. Yep. This bit here is the least of our worries. Okay. Get the socket off. Okay. I'll clear the bench a little bit and we'll go and get this other round thing and see can we get it somewhere near in there. It may have to be dampened and pulled into shape to match the basket itself. I don't know. We'll try all this now. Okay, I'll just pause while I clean up the bench here. Right. Well, as the previous video, it's the next morning. We've got him centered, and well, there's a couple of little spots here that I'm going to have to fix up. That yeah, I've missed a bit on this side, but yeah, just in along there. So otherwise, the rest of the cone moves okay. Now let's put it in. Now where our voice coil is there, so sorry, our leads to the voice coil. Just bring them out either side there. So our cone will go in pretty well like that. Yep, that looks correct. And now for the centering. Okay, a little screw goes in and holds the spider. Now it will have to go over to this side just a little bit as we're tightening. Okay, now all that makes sense in there. So what I'm going to do is probably not hold this down solid until we test this whole thing out. So I'll put a couple of little clamps on our basket, the gasket, and hold everything together. So I don't want to make this permanent just at the moment until we see, well, yeah, if it's going to work. Let's pull. It's got to come over a little bit there. And that way, that hole in on the spider is right in the center. Okay. Unreal. That is not right. I don't believe that, but it's not working either. There is no rubbing there whatsoever. Okay. Now I've got to just clamp this in a few spots. I'm thinking bulldog clips, probably 4 bulldog clips to hold this in position. We can now solder our voice coil up. Yeah, that's looking not too bad. Maybe I should have spray painted this side as well, but yeah, no, she's good. And of course I've got to just tidy up this piece. I would really like this original speaker working. Wow. Okay, that's brilliant, guys. And I've also got to put a rear, some sort of plug on this. I'm thinking of a some sort of cable gland back or something that'll screw over it or near it. But to do that, of course, I'm going to have to remove the plug off the leads, which is a shame. But anyway, that's down the track. Okay, let me get some clamps and we'll see what we can do with this thing. And when I do this, I'm also going to just fill that in for now. And when I do this, guys, it's time to plug this in to the chassis and put some power on. How about that? At long last. Okay, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get into it. Stop talking, Baz. Righto, guys, I've taken the plug off the lead and I'm just going to put some heat shrink over the end of the material there to just keep everything in place. And what I found for this is a cable gland. The rear of an electrical cable gland is the bloody same size as this. And thread's not quite right, but screws on pretty well all the way. You can get it all the way. And that will make a perfect rear cover for the plug. At least no one can stick their fingers there or anything. Put some heat shrink on him. This just stops the end of the lead fraying, the material fraying. This is fairly heavy heat shrink, so takes a little bit of heat. And now we'll put our lead back in. I didn't actually unsolder or suck the solder out. I've just melted it and just pulled the wires out. So I'm pretty sure all will go back in okay. Okay, this fella first. And I just heat him until he wants to slide in. There he goes. Right. The next one is our black and blue wires, which are connected together. Once I get these in, I will heat the end of them and put a little bit more solder down the tubes. Oh, I think it's pretty good like it is. Okay. Now, cover here. Look at that. Now, if I just got to do this fairly gently. I found the right tool. There's the right tool. Pair of scissors fits in there neatly, and just screw him on just a little bit. Not too far, and there we go. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's not holding the cable tight, but no one can touch it on the ends of it. All right. Now, that bit there. Okay. Next thing. Well, guys, the time's come. The speaker, well, it should work. Doesn't look very nice. There it is. You saw it on the last video, and you see it all through this particular video. You've seen what's going on with it. Plug looks okay. So I'm hoping that the speaker works okay. It it all seems to, well, do the right things anyway. The field coil's okay, the transformer's okay, the voice coil moves. I have put a tone from the signal generator onto the voice coil. I can hear the tone, but of course it's not very loud because we don't have a magnet without power. Speaker's ready to go, she's ready to plug in. So let's just get into it. I've got a dim bulb over here. Our unit will be plugged into the dim bulb via an isolation tranny via the variac, the drill along here. And, well, we're going to plug the speaker in and we're going to monitor our HT at the moment. Now, I'll set this up on its side. I want to trace the HT through. We won't be going full HT because there's no load on it, and I don't want to put, well, just too much voltage on the caps. This thing goes to about 500 volts on an open load. So our rectifier, we know he's okay because we've tried him ages and ages ago, and we did try the HT and it did work. So without further ado, that's looking nice. Now, this is almost a radio. It's almost ready to fire up. We'll tip him over on his side. I'll rearrange the camera and just give us a little bit better view of what I'm doing. Okay, that might give us a little bit better view of the whole thing. Now, first of all, we're going to plug the speaker in. Now, how's this? Where does this go? There we go. Okay, that works. Okay, just got to set him up here against the bench. The thing wants to tip back. Now, our power cable is back around behind here. And as I said, but this is a temporary power cable. We'll be putting on a 3-core cloth flex, which we've got from Carl. And I just haven't got him fitted at the moment. We're going to put our meter down here. And this has got to be somewhere where you can see the damn thing. I was going to put another camera here, but where can you see it? Right there. Okay. Now, just going to get a couple of jumper leads because I'm going to connect this up. And I'll be using that fella as my HT probe. Okay. And our ground, we're connecting up to our ground bar across the back of the transformer there. And straight onto the probe of the meter. Now, I think you can see the meter okay there. The light's a bit hairy going, but just a moment. I'll try and... No, okay. So, now the next thing is, let's bring up gently. This old girl's got an 80 tube down here, as you've seen, or a valve, if you want to call it a valve in your world. Okay, now we do have it on a dim bulb over here. It's 60 watts. So, okay, let's increase our voltage 50 volts, 80, 100, 100. Nothing happening there, but starting to come up. That must be a pretty good 80 tube there, starting to conduct already with 24 volts on there. Okay, 130. Up she goes. 97, 98 volts. 99 volts on the HT. Now, as I said, there's no load on it, so this is just for testing. Up a bit more. And we're at 169, 170. No smoke, nothing going bang, which is a pretty good thing. Okay, so what are we on? 176. Okay, take a bit more. Okay, 210. And we'll probably take it up to in around 220 volts. That's enough. Our dim bulb is just ever so slightly lit up, so not much happening there. 225 volts, 26. We'll probably push it to 230, and that'll do for our... There we go. That'll do for our testing. What that means is speaker coil, the field coil is working, and so is the audio transformer. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any voltage here. So, yeah, all working. Okay, now on our B plus here, we should have some volts, which there we've got 141, and down here 25, and down here we've got 2.7. So depending on where all this goes, the resistive load and everything on this. Okay, okay, a B plus comes up to here, 235, 235, all looking normal. Where else do we go here? We're on just checking out some points of interest. 200 volts on the AC, and that's 260 on here. We're going to go up to 240 or 235. There we go. And our HT is 306. Okay, I can't see anything drastic happening here. Nothing really. It's all looks normal. Okay, so I think we'll put in our output tube and see if we get anything out of the speaker. Okay, now the output tube I think is a 42. So we'll grab him, put him in. Alright guys, got that done. So we've got the 42 in. Now we're going to just see, can we hear anything out of the speaker? Monitor the HT. Can't hear anything on the speaker at the moment, but that doesn't mean much. Okay. We're on 210 volts. So 190 on the HT. Our resistors are running cold, which, well, they should be. 220 volts. And we've got 206 on the HT. Okay, now we'll just see what voltages are on our plate of the 42, which is 196. We've got 202 going to it, 196 on the plate. So all is normal there. I just can't see where I'm up to there. That's the grid. So nothing to the grid there at the moment. Righto, we'll go for the next valve back, and then that should give us some audio. Righto, guys. Well, that's got the 6B7 in. So up we go. 140 volts. And HT coming up on 200 volts AC, 185. She's dropping down a bit. We might have to go to the other dim bulb shortly. Not sure whether we have any audio yet. Guys, I hear audio. Okay, let's take her up. 230. That's our HT, and listen to that. Okay, we're going to go to the other dim bulb. We've got audio, guys. Go to number 2, gives us a bit more oomph. And we'll go up to 230. Now HT is looking pretty good. Now the main HT on the 42 in around 240, 250 volts. Yeah, on the screen grid, and it doesn't actually. The plate says 240. So yeah, in around 240. We're 259 at the moment. What audio have we got? Hey, and guess what? The speaker works. Oh yeah, this is good. So far so good. Guys, it's getting pretty exciting. I'm going to put the other 2 valves in now, see how we go. HT, yeah, she's pretty well spot on. Okay, we'll back her off and we'll put in the other 2 valves, or tubes as you call them. The next one is a 6D6, and then we've got the AK2. No idea whether they're any good. Couldn't test the AK2 or the 6D6 in my tester. So, yeah, let's put them in, see what happens. All right, guys. Now, once again, I've got my AK2 in, monitoring our HT, and make sure she comes up and make sure there's no other shorts. And there she goes. Okay. 190 there. So up goes. Got a bit of volume on there. 205. Take him up a bit more. You believe that? I can hear something. We've got some noise. Where's our antenna? I hear noise, guys. And our tone is working. Our tone is working quite nicely. Righto. Let's quieten it now a little bit. There we go. Nice and quiet. No, we won't. We'll use this file. There we go. We're just picking up our IF cans, the trimmers in the cans. Now this is crude, right? We'll obviously do it with the signal. This is a bit of a crude way, but we'll obviously do it with a SIG gen when the time comes. There we go. And we do have a station. I'll just turn some lights off. We've still got lots of interference in here. But I'll tell you what, our speaker's working good. Okay. Now, we do have to put a trimmer cap on the AK2 yet. Righto, guys. Now, what I've done, I've got a little AM transmitter down there. I want a bit better signal here in the shed. I've just got the aerial laying here, and now it's even easier. And guess what? That village. Order online at villagebakehouse.com. Ordering favorites. Collect. Pie. Coffee, fresh juices and cakes. Breakfast or lunch. Enjoy food prepared really clean, simply, and with a lot of love. I'll tell you what, that speaker's not doing a bad job. Village Bakehouse, Paisley Street, Orange. You don't have to stop listening to Triple M when you get out. Not a hell of a lot of bass in it. Obviously because of our nice tight suspension around the side. But guys, open your ears to a whole world of audio. Download the free Listen Around now to get started. Okay. And our tone control. Tank this winter? Look no further than Bushman's Tanks, your trusted water storage expert. Explore the Bushman's Tanks winter catalogue for fantastic deals. You may hear that, you may not. But guess what? She's going. An initial startup. Now, oscillator seems a bit strange, bit funny. So obviously some alignment of the oscillator, signal gen, and so forth. But anyway, we'll get to that. Main thing is now the unit is going. This is good stuff.
or trainee for your business in a tight market where candidates are hard to find. Navigating regulations and paperwork.
And certainly that speaker is doing a pretty good job. I probably will leave that speaker in it. I don't think I'll upgrade to anything better. But anyway, that's enough for this. I've got to wire the AK2. The AK2 is on an angle there. Why? Because one side of the bloody socket broke off when I was trying to get the valve in, being a new socket, and it's a cheap and nasty Chinese thing, so I'll have to get under there and probably get some JB weld onto it so that it holds back into position where it should be. But it's not a huge drama, but just a bloody nuisance. Anyway, and then we've got to see, does it pick up shortwave? So we'll have to get the unit outside, get a bit of an aerial on it, and see what we can pick up, or even at night. Yeah. Okay.
Gateway present orange. Conditions apply.
Love it. Okay. I'll clean up a little bit here, get it rearranged, and we might get on with some alignment. I'll try and find some details. So hit the subscribe. Make sure you follow me along with the next one. Hit the bell. And yeah, that'll tell you when the next video comes up. Okay, guys, we'll catch you real soon. Bye for now.